What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to the Uncommon Mindset podcast. Today, I'm joined by the founders of Inner Chimp. Inner Chimp is a sustainable Brazilian Jiu Jitsu based sports clothing brand, and I'm joined by Matt and Jay. Matt and Jay have both been involved in the sports of fighting and Jiu Jitsu for a substantial amount of years. Inner Chimp is not just a sports clothing brand. The meaning behind the brand is so powerful, which makes this company different to others out there. The way the clothes are produced is to leave a close to nothing global footprint by creating eco-friendly products which both feel amazing and look even better. Inner Chimp have worked with Miyakatsu to provide customers a unique style. Matt and Jay have created something that will grow extremely quick in 2021, and you will see Inner Chimp all across the globe. I'm super excited to be joined by you two today.
Yeah,
cheers, all right.
Awesome.
Good
No
to be
worries. So let's just take it all the way back now. So I'll start with Jay.
Yeah.
Can you just talk to me about like what your upbringing was like?
Yeah, sure. So I was brought up in North Wales, a little town called Rhyl. I don't know if you know, but quite a rough town. Not much going on there. Usual middle class family. My uncles were all professional fighters, so I was brought up in boxing gyms. So learned to fight pretty early. Me and my cousins. I basically spent all my youth in boxing gyms and athletics. Didn't really do much martial arts. Got through school and didn't do very good at all. So I ended up joining the army at 16. From 16, that was 1998, up until now. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, I've been a soldier, boxed a little bit in the army, and then found mixed martial arts probably 2011, 2012. I was in my late 20s, so I was quite late getting into MMA.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found Jiu Jitsu, and I've not looked back.
Lovely, nice. What about you, Matt?
I was brought up in Glastonbury, Somerset. Born and bred, stayed there, since growing up really. Had all of my jobs have mainly been travelling around the UK, Europe, taking me to China and different places like that. My school life was sort of similar, a bit similar to Jay's, bit of a, didn't have my head definitely screwed on 100%.
I tried, I just wasn't very good.
I just didn't try at all. That was just my main problem. Just school the education system just didn't really sit very well with me. My grades were okay, but it wasn't until after school that I sort of realised that actually, you've got to knuckle down and work if you want anything, anything that's in life that's worth having, like whether that's like a family or anything, like all of that needs to be worked for to get,
Lovely, nice. When did you start Jiu Jitsu?
Around the same time as Jay, so I was doing mixed martial arts with a guy called Grant Harris.
Mm-hmm.
You may know him. He was he'd done quite a few of the knuckle up shows back when they were on back in the day. Trained with him for quite a while, and then he was coming out of the sport, totally, and he said, look, I think as your game you need to go into jiu-jitsu and get your jiu-jitsu up to scratch. So okay, went down to Gracie Barron Street with Rich Weatherall. Met Jay after a few sessions, and we were sort of the same level, weren't we? Really, both MMA sort of. No, yeah. And then, honest to God, the state of me and him rolling at the start. We both come in thinking, our grappling's okay. You do basic stuff, don't you? Honestly, we were just getting schooled by we were getting schooled. Remember Jose?
I walked into that club. With a number of fights under my belt, and I've been around the circuit, thinking I was at least a blue belt, maybe a purple belt level. Billy Big Bollocks walking in there thinking, I got turned inside out by the white belt. Inside out, and I couldn't fathom what was going on. I just couldn't believe it. I'd never tried proper jiu-jitsu before. I'd done a lot of lucha libre, a lot of catch wrestling, a lot of no-gi jiu-jitsu, and I knew I was walking into a different environment than the gi, but I got there and blokes were grabbing onto, and I did not have an answer.
It's a different level.
Do you know what? I was just like, this is where I need to be, and I've never gone back.
I think my first session, I got collar choked within about 30 seconds. I was like, what was that?
It's mad on that first session. I remember that first session to this day. We were doing positional sparring, and you came into my guard, It's the first time we met each other. He hung to my guard, I started taking my grips, and we just stalemated. He couldn't get past and I couldn't sweep, and I was just like, this kid's good, he's at my level, and we clicked from that moment onwards. And
That's brilliant. Yeah.
5-6 years down the line now, we're business partners. And it's a great story.
Yeah,
No, it's brilliant.
Been fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Some of the old videos I've thrown in. Oh my god.
Well, that's
I swear Jay chucks me about halfway across the room.
Well, you touched on there, obviously, now that you guys are business partners. How did that come about?
So, I got back from Afghanistan on my last tour. I think it was 2011, 2012. I wouldn't say I had mental health issues, but I was very aware that I was feeling different after the tour than I did before the tour. I read a book called The Chimp Paradox, and it sort of made sense to me. It just the things that it was talking about, and it made a lot of references to the inner chimp or your inner chimp, and I thought, it's a catchy name. A few years later, I was playing around with an app on the phone. I was just going to make myself a rash guard, just with Inner Chimp on it, J on the back, something like that. And I'd spoke to Matt about it, and he picked up on the idea. And from what in my head was just going to be a side hustle, I was going to make one. If somebody liked that, I'd probably chuck him on the order. And Matt gave it the legs it needed to really go big. And to be honest with you, I felt a little bit inadequate because he knew everything that he needed because of his background in manufacturing. He went, right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it sort of took me by surprise. I was like, wow. I was going to make a t-shirt for me and a mate maybe. And I sat back and I watched and I learned and still to this day I keep quiet a lot because I let him do his thing, take my notes, see what he's doing. Okay, yeah, brilliant, fantastic. But yeah, from coming back from Afghanistan, reading a book, having an idea about making a t-shirt just because it's something that I related to. Then I thought to myself, there's going to be other fighters who relate to this inner chimp because it's the fight or flight. And we all get it for every competition, for every match. Every single fighter goes through that fight or flight, whether they like to admit it or not, or whether they're that far down the line or they don't get it, they just get maybe a little bit of nerves or a little bit excited. I know in the early days, anxiety takes a massive toll on you and what you do in the fight game. My early competitions, I don't remember because anxiety just took over me so much.
Yeah.
And you're a white belt, it's your first competition, you stand on the edge of the mat shaking, you try to remember everything the coach has said, and as soon as the ref says fight, all that goes out the window and then you're zoned in, and that inner chimp he's either been put to bed or you've brought him out a little bit. And I think to wear that on you is I think it's something that everyone in the fight game can relate to.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's amazing. You touched on obviously mental health there. That's huge, especially what we're going through at the moment as well. And how did you deal with mental health? Is this something that helps you deal with it, like starting a business or reading a book?
Jiu Jitsu for me that keeps me sane. That keeps me anchored. It keeps me where I need to be. That and my family, of course. I've got a wife. I've got 4 kids. I wouldn't say I struggle with mental health to the point where I need these things, but there's times, and I don't care who you are, especially in lockdown, there's going to be a time when you're not quite you're not quite right.
Yeah.
And it's not because you're sick, it's not because you're poorly, and it's not because you're weird or abnormal, you're human, it's human nature. We all need something to anchor us, don't we? In Jiu Jitsu, you couldn't think of anything better.
Yeah.
I think everyone watching this who rolls would have had that day where they've gone to Jiu Jitsu feeling shit, feeling crap. Whether they had an argument at home, whether they've dealt with an idiot at work, whether you've had some bad news. You spend an hour and a half rolling and it's all just gone. You get in that car, you don't need to turn the radio on, you just travel home with no radio, and you're just thinking about the things that happened and you feel better. It's the perfect de-stress tool.
Yeah.
So to add that to the inner chimp and bring it all together, what a perfect, it's the perfect combination for mental health, for jiu-jitsu, for sustainability. It just hits it on so many levels.
Yeah, we just want to do good, really, don't we? With everything that we're doing, we don't want we don't want anyone to feel that our brand is negative, has any negative impact in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
Like we just believe that a brand can be different to as brands are perceived now, and we can do it. So we just think, why not? Like
yeah,
go big
It's
or
not-
go home, innit?
Yeah, it's not about just chucking a brand out there and making sure people are wearing it to make our bank balance bigger. It's we can make a difference to people, and I think that's more important, especially in this day and age, than money. I think you need to have a certain aspect of maturity. I think you need to have gone through what you need to go through in life, especially what I've gone through, and I know Matt's gone through, to see that. It's nice to help other people. It's as simple as that. It's nice, it's rewarding to help other people. It's good to be good, and I'm a true believer. What you throw out there, you get back. And this is my effort to just throw a little bit of good out to the universe.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously for the listeners at home, I was reading your website, and it said there that you guys could have obviously used a different manufacturer to get the products cheaper, right? But
we have messages all the time, don't we? What's the point of, like, it says on our Instagram bio, it says like literally everywhere. I think it says UK based supply. Rash guards.
Yeah, you can be more.
And then you've got all these suppliers messaging you, we can do it cheaper, Like, oh, that's not the point. We don't want to be supporting, we don't want to be supporting slave labour, we don't want to be supporting, substandard working conditions, anything like that. We want to have not only full transparency for us, so you can say to, where are you getting your rash guards made? Gloucester, mate. Go to the factory if you want, go check him out. Yeah, have a chat with you. It'll make you want to order if you want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what we're doing.
We're getting manufacturers from the UK who are having their stuff manufactured out in Southeast Asia actually coming to us and saying, guys, where the hell are you getting this made? We've tried everywhere in the UK.
Yeah.
Unfortunately it's a secret.
When we're starting out, everyone we're talking to when we're starting out, they were just like, oh, no, you can't UK manufacture, and because obviously, like, my day job is consulting with UK manufacturers and fixing the machinery. I said to Jay, like, I know it got to a point, didn't it? And Jay was even like, Matt, I don't know if we can do it. And I'm like, I know.
We'd had samples from Bangladesh, and I was like, let's go with these guys. Let's get the brand out there, and we can deal with these. Once we're established as a brand, and then we can reevaluate it all, and we can start looking in the UK again. But let's get it out there. And this was just before COVID. COVID happened, completely squashed everything. But we didn't realise it was a blessing in disguise, because that's when we found our UK manufacturer. So what at the time we thought was a brand killer, it was, as I say, it was a blessing in disguise, because it literally all took off from there. So all the bad stuff in COVID actually had a tiny little bit to play in. A good thing coming from it as well.
I always look at life like that. Like, when one thing happens, it's for a reason, and obviously, it's always for a reason. Yeah. Okay, so you guys use eco-friendly materials to actually create the products, right? So obviously, I'm guessing that you using UK brands, UK manufacturers. You're not making as much money as these other companies will be making, right?
Luckily we got day jobs.
Well, yeah, but there's definitely like a meaning behind that, right? Is to help other people. It's not just a brand like Jay said, just throwing it out there.
We could have it done half the price.
Yeah,
the price.
Like I say, we want to be here to do good. Like, obviously, like Seymour, the illustrator, everyone, no introduction needed for Seymour, is there? But we're using this woman called Alana McDowell next on our female rash guards. And what we want to do is we want to invite, because it's all limited release, we want to invite our illustrators in, get them on a project, release the fight wear, it's limited release, help boost the illustrator within our sector. Hopefully at some point, we will look, we're developing some
we're talking to
yoga pants and that, like gym, like that sort of gym wear at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah.
But that's for in the future, when we can step out our lane a little bit. Obviously at the moment with COVID, like, no one's rolling, so we're looking at the casual wear. Well, we're looking to ramp the production up on the casual wear at the moment.
It's Yeah, it's a tough one at the moment because gyms aren't open, guys aren't
It's
open.
real.
Yeah.
People are buying and it's going straight into their cupboard. And they're not going and getting a few rounds in and people saying, where do you get that from? Oh, that's a great,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
We're not getting the word of mouth.
Mm.
I'm sure we will. I'm confident that, you know, we've got sick designs. We're good value for money.
Yeah.
That's the big one. You mentioned about the price that we're paying for our stuff. We're cheaper as well than most of the brands that are out there. Our markup is very, very, very slim. I mean, you can go and spend £45, £50 on a rash guard, and most people do, me included.
Mm.
We're just as good quality. We're not made in sweatshops by people that are earning 3 cents an hour or you know, silly money a day. And the money's getting pumped straight back into the economy. So we may be paying a lot and we may be selling for less, but it's actually doing good. It's doing good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure down the line, you know, there'll be an opportunity for us to, you know, make a good living out of it.
We've got things in place, haven't we, for a business strategy? But we just, I mean, first and foremost, like we've been pretty overwhelmed with the support that we've got at the start. I mean, it's been fantastic.
Massive. From what we've sent out there, with especially in the UK. Now we've got some sales out in America, and we're expecting to see, because they, you know, in some states are allowed to roll, so we're expecting to see some, you know, Instagram.
I think we've had a few orders actually now.
Yeah, we've had a few in Australia.
Wow.
Which
It's amazing,
it's cool, isn't it? You know, you just
seeing your brand out there, like, around the world.
You look on your emails and, you know, an order comes up at work and you're like, oh cool, we've got an order.
When I see the guys, like Tom Barry and all the guys, and they're rolling with them on, I'm just like, that was an idea in my head at one point.
Yeah.
That whole thing that they've got on there is an idea, and now, you know, it's getting used by people for what it was intended for, and people are liking it, and it's, you know, it's a massive compliment, absolutely massive compliment.
Lead and have been fantastic, reviewed in here on Jits magazine.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was
yeah.
Wow, huge.
I mean, you should see us when like something good like that happens. Like, I remember when Seymour messaged us back saying that he was willing to work with us. I had to like pull over in the car because I was
that was insane. It was insane. Matt messaged me and he was like, "You're not going to believe this," and I was like, I didn't know if it was good or bad. And then he showed me the email, and I was just like, no. I was like, no way, no way. For a brand that has literally just started, and it's in its infancy, and we don't really, in this industry, we don't know where we're going. We don't know how long we're going to be in for. We weren't sure if we were going to make one rash guard. It didn't sell. We give it up. From going from that to literally the biggest BJJ illustrator in the world. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, what country you're from. If you train, if you roll, you know who Seymour is from Meerkatu, and he said he's going to work with us. He came up with our Archibald design. The chimp in the top hat and tie with the teacup. He did such an amazing job.
Yeah, we could have asked for that.
We told him what we wanted, and I think we didn't have to change anything. He literally came at us, and we were like, that's exactly what we wanted.
It was just some little, like, there was just some.
I think we moved the background a little bit.
It was
the
it,
chimp
wasn't it?
Itself was like that's
with a teacup, with his pinky out.
It's huge, yeah.
But,
Was there like any point that you guys wanted to give up? Like, you know, when you see like no sales coming through or anything like that, was there a
It's
point?
been hard the last couple of months. We got a great reception from the BJJ community, with Matt travelling around the country doing what he does. He's able to drop into certain clubs and gyms, drop off a rash guard here, drop off a rash guard there. Yeah. So, you know, the response has been really good. And sales, I'd say, in the last month, since the last lockdown was come in, sales have really dropped. And do you know what? I don't think there's anything to worry about. I wouldn't say that we've ever even contemplated quitting or stopping, have we? The drive's been immense. I think even if it did get to absolutely nothing,
it's just giving us more drive, really, to push to get the casual wear finished. That's one of the main things that we want to get sorted at the moment. Before we noticed that, you know, there was obviously another lockdown coming in and all that sort of stuff. We were going to get the Cheetos ready, weren't we, in the slats?
We've had the Cheetos in the pipeline now for a while. We're both a lover of the Cheetos. I'm not an MMA shorts, baggy shorts kind of guy. I like a nice set of tight Cheetos.
No, that's brilliant.
You've got to take 3 socks to the gym.
We straight away with the manufacturers, I I chucked him a pair of my old ones, and I was like, can we just have a look and see if we can copy this template, see if we can make them as comfortable as this. Same with spats, same with female yoga equipment, and you know, we're not a one-stop shop. We're not just going to do rash guards. We're not just going to do shorts. We're looking at we've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, we've got jumpers, we've got jogging bottoms, socks. Watch your space, because it's all coming. It's just a moment with COVID. It's all very slow.
It's also fun doing it with a day job as well.
We both got day jobs.
Yeah,
Matt's really busy. I'm really busy.
Yeah.
We try and get together as much as possible.
WhatsApp's our saviour, innit?
The problem we've got is we don't share the same taste in design at all.
What do you mean?
That's the big
Jay likes rubbish stuff and I like good
stuff. I'm a bit more in your face, flamboyant. Matt's very minimalist with his design. He likes.
Yeah. I like simple but effective designs.
Do you think that that's good though, having like two different opinions rather than just agreeing with each other constantly? And then
because we're not a big company, we don't have a panel of people for these things to get through. There's no safety net, so to speak. So our safety net is each other, and we've got to be true with each other. Yeah. There's times I've been really excited by a design. I've shown it to Matt, and he's just ripped it to shreds. And
it's not, you know, it's nothing emotional with it, is it? It's all rational. It's like, oh mate, you know. Like in you know, it's like we touched on earlier. You might like a design going to bed, but then when you wake up, you know, you don't like it.
If you look at our cheeky monkey design, which is, you know, it's white and it's got a banana, it's got a palm tree.
I love that one. It's brilliant.
It.
Oh, you hate it? I love it.
I videoed it. I was like, no, there's no way. And he's like, Jay, trust me on this one. This will sell. People will love it. So I ummed and ahed, and I was like, okay, listen, I'm going to trust you on this one. And do you know what? I was wrong. I can put my hand up and say I was wrong on that. And it's actually turned around to the point now I actually like it. It was only today I was saying I need to get one because I don't have one to wear. So I need to get one and start rolling in it.
And the anarchist, that's our best set. Well, I guess there's a reason why it's
the anarchist
design. Anarchist at the moment, but it's
crazy. As the lockdowns come in, the sales on the anarchist rash guard go up. Yeah. And then when people are coming off the lockdown, the sales for the anarchist ones go down. It's like people's little protest to the government. They're going to buy a rash guard and they're going to roll it home with a dummy in it and post it on the stories.
That's brilliant. Yeah, it's brilliant. Obviously, it must be tough, like you said, having a full-time job and doing this on the side. A lot of people, they say that, I don't have enough time to do that. You know, I'm working a full-time job, but you guys are proof that, you know, it is possible to do something like that.
I can reel you off a list of my hobbies.
I can tell you now he's a lot better than I am. A lot better at it than I am,
I think my key to everything is writing down lists and just going down, like ticking it off all the time. I haven't, you know, like the book that I got on the floor, I've got a list, and as I'm going through, I'm ticking off. You know, all you know, whether that's through like my sewing business, consulting, and you know, following up with customers, consulting, repairing machines, and all that. Every job's got a note in the book, and then it gets ticked off, or something else right at the bottom. And that's literally just the way that I work for everything, and you know, manage to get time for, you know, a few businesses, and my hobbies and everything else. So
I really believe that if you want something, you will make time to do it. Like people say, I don't have enough time, but you can wake up earlier, right? So you can still do it.
We're like the same 24 hours, aren't we? You know.
Well,
that's do them as you see fit.
I sort of like, there's things that I do and don't agree with it though, because like I think sometimes people's jobs just can really bring people down. I mean, like back years ago, I got fooled into this absolutely rubbish job where they'd sort of promised me a position and it didn't ever come to fruition. And I can remember driving to work in the morning and I was just thinking, should I just crash my car because I don't want to go into work? Like, I just hated going into one place every single day, you know, just to sit at the same desk, repair the same rubbish and just sit there. And it got to that point and I thought, nah, like, this isn't happening. Like, I don't care what I'm doing, but it isn't this, like, ever. Yeah. So, you know, and then I changed jobs, crashed my car, fractured my back, nearly killed my missus.
Not on purpose.
I don't know, Cash will tell you different. But, and then and then just built back up again, and you try and build better, don't you? So
What was going through your mind when all that was happening? Like, you know, when you were, let's say you was in hospital and you fractured your back, like what?
Oh well, I actually when I got to hospital, I had an X-ray, and they only found one fracture. And because Cash, like my partner, was in quite a bad way, I sort of just discharged myself. I thought, you know, and they took me to Bath, and she was in Bristol, Frenchy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just discharged myself, took myself up there. But I think it was about a few months later, like me and Cash, like I was pushing her around because she was in a wheelchair. She broke her pelvis and her back, tore a spleen.
Wow.
And just she went to 3 places. She had like a bar across her pelvis for like quite a while. And they had to remove that, and it was all like reset. But I went back. I remember saying to Cash, it just doesn't feel right. My back's still hurting, and this is like quite a. Went back to hospital, and they were like, no, like, you know, obviously you're gonna have a backache. You know, you fractured your back, and I'm like, yeah, but I just done. Went back anyway. I'm hassled enough. I got an X-ray, and I had 3 other fractures in my back. So I've been walking around with 4 fractures in my back. Wow. And so that was why it hurt. But the main thing that I've always found that's helped me is just Jiu Jitsu and exercise. If I don't do Jiu Jitsu and exercise, and you know, I'm really, really in trouble. Like, just sort of seize up and stuff. But
no, I totally agree. And like what Jay said earlier as well, when you come to Jiu Jitsu, just everything in your life just disappears. It's just you're in the moment. It feels amazing. Yeah.
You're just capturing that frame for however long it is. It doesn't matter what's going on in the real world. Yes,
no, that's it.
Yeah.
And even up to the drive home, I can drive back. It takes me 40 minutes to get to Jiu Jitsu, 40 minutes to get back home. I'll make that sacrifice every single day to coach and to train myself. That 40 minutes going back is just blissful. It's blissful. And I don't even turn the radio on. I just sit and I think about all the things that I did wrong, all the things I did good. And you get home, and as soon as you get through the door, the kids run downstairs. You're like, you know, it's all nice. Go to bed, wake up, and start the day again, and
it's brilliant.
Deal with tomorrow's bullshit.
No, of course, yeah. What's the goals now for Inner Chimp? Have you guys got like any priority goals?
We've managed to hit quite a few of them. So we're like all our packaging, like any of the guys that have bought the stuff or girls, they know like it's all plastic free. So we're running plastic free. Well, actually, our supplier sent us some our rash guards the other day, and some like in the plastic bags, and we're like.
Recycled plastic, recycled polyester, and he says
rash
plastic, individual plastic bags.
So we sent them back up to him.
He actually said, we said, what are you doing? And in all fairness, he did realise what he'd done, and he was like, I had nothing else to send you the minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I did think that. Like, you know, but sorry, what was the question again?
What are your goals?
Goals. So we've managed to hit the no plastic. We've got recycled packaging. We've managed to get the rash guards, obviously, on recycled polyester. Our next tasks are for the casual wear. So the t-shirts should be looking to come out sort of hopefully within the next few months. We'll be releasing them. And apart from that, we're looking to try and get a carbon neutral delivery company. But we're struggling, aren't we? Really. So if anyone can help us out, actually, with sorting.
There's some out there, but once again, it's going to cost us more money to go down that route.
Yeah. But you're willing to make that sacrifice, right?
Course,
because of
we are.
That's why Inner Chimp, I believe, is so different to other companies, because it's not about the money. It's not really about the money. Obviously, the money will come. It's a byproduct of what you're doing, right? And eventually, as it grows, you become the profits will increase, but the way you guys are actually focusing on helping, that's when you'll receive more. And I love that about that the company that you're building and creating is amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an ethos we didn't really talk about. It's nothing we planned. It's something that we both just naturally wanted to do. It's like a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Yeah. Thing is, it's hard. Like, as soon as you wake up to your use of plastic, as soon as you wake up to like me and Jay both watch the intake of meat. I'm a veggie, and Jay's like just limit your meat. You're not eating. You're vegan at the moment.
Fully vegan at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So we just we're
Yeah.
both conscious because of the environmental impact on your diet has, you know, and we just, as soon as you wake up to that stuff, you know, you can't switch it up. You pick up a bit of plastic when you want a sandwich and you feel guilty. You know, you eat a bag of crisps at home and you feel guilty. You know, you buy a blooming jumper and it's made out of blooming polyester and you feel guilty, and you just think, well, if we can offer a UK-made sustainable brand at decent prices for quality goods, like what isn't there to like?
The way I say it is you go downstairs and your front room is messy or your bedroom's messy. You know, most people would not tolerate that, and they'll go upstairs or they'll go into the front room, they'll hoover up quickly, and for me, if I'm in a clean room, if I've got a nice clean mind, I have to have a clean room to relax. That's not OCD or anything like that. But if you're in a dirty environment, you know, it's not good for your mental well-being. You know, it brings your mood down. If we're willing to do that in our houses, then, you know, if we just look a little bit further outside into the environment, are we willing to have a filthy planet that we're going to live in, and we're doing it ourselves? You know, if you look at the oceans at the moment and you look at all the plastic that's been pumped in there, I think it's over 280 metric tons of plastic last year alone was dumped into the seas. You know, predominantly from, you know, Southeast Asia and Africa, granted. We can do our little bit, just to, you know, we're not going to change the world in what we do, but just putting the message out there. And then hopefully, you know, if we can just get to one or two people, and those one or two people get to one or two people, and I don't know, when you go and buy your drink, you buy the recycled bottle instead of buying that bottle. But when you go for your coffee, you take your own mug and you don't use their mug. Every little bit helps. We're not asking people to be eco-warriors and wear, you know, hemp sandals and get dreadlocks. That's not what we're about. It's just that's just we've got one planet, you know. It's took me a long time. I've had to mature a lot to get to where I am today. But let's look after it. You tidy your bedroom if it's dirty. Let's help tidy the planet up a little bit.
What did this just like come all of a sudden where you were like, look, I want to help the planet out, or was it like, did you see something that made you feel like that, or was it?
I grew up in Glastonbury, so it's sort of
Since
I was younger, I mean, I can remember like when I was younger, you walk down the high street and you walk past the town hall and there's like witch conventions on and people with like moons tattooed on their foreheads, and you walk down and you're like, all right, that's normal. And it wasn't until I was working like all across the country that I realised like, nah, like Glastonbury is something special. And then, you know, growing up and seeing all that, it makes you a lot more tolerant of what else is going on in the world. And then, you know, when you see everybody in Glastonbury, you know, everybody just wants to do good. It's a cool place. It's got a cool place. Cool energy. You know, if anyone's not been there, I'd definitely advise just going there for a walk around and go up the tour.
I never in years had thought I'd end up living around that area, and I'm looking to buy a house. So I'm getting out of the army in 2 years, and we're not going to move back to North Wales. We're set now. We're at home. I've made some really good friends, and all through Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah.
So we're looking to settle in Street, Glastonbury, around that area. But yeah.
It's brilliant.
But yeah, with me, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's hanging around with you too long. I think, as I say, you've just got to mature, not so much as a person, but mentally you've just got to mature, and you just got to...
I think a lot of it can be that seed, like, you know, cramming stuff down people's throats just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know, you could, like, all these people that are arguing at the moment, all this, I mean, everybody's been separated into, you're thinking this, you're thinking that, but well, actually, like, we're all just, like, one. Like, as much as like it is what it is.
There's no them, there's no us.
Exactly.
Everybody's together.
So, you know, like, we're here to do good. Like, what are you here to do?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's good decisions and bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like what ones are you gonna make?
Yeah, we've been influenced just as, you know, much as we want to influence people. It's one big circle, isn't it? And everybody can make everybody a better person.
That's it.
No, yeah, it's brilliant. No, honestly, I think Inner Chimp is gonna grow a lot, like as the years go on, especially if we come out of lockdown and stuff, because of not just because of the brand, but because of the meaning behind it, for sure.
Yeah, we hope the message as well.
Respect it a lot.
You know, and we hope people see the message as well as our cool designs, because they are cool designs.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the message behind it as well. It's so important, and I think I'd like to think everyone who does what we do, we've all got that mindset, all of us. I don't know a Jiu Jitsu club in the UK that doesn't harp on about plastic bottles. Everyone, all the black belts across the country are starting to bring in a reusable bottle because we're sort of, I don't know what it is about that martial art, about Jiu Jitsu, about grapplers. Maybe it's the ethos of the surfers back in Brazil. That's bled through to us over here, but everybody is very planet conscious, more than other groups of people. I've been in the army 22 years and I've never met a group of people like I have grapplers. We don't get that in the army. Grapplers we're set aside, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
We've got that martial artist ethos, but we've got that thuggish, I don't give a shit attitude. We're sort of the crossover. We're sort of the ginger stepchild of the martial arts world.
It's beautiful Jiu-Jitsu is because you go in there and you go to sometimes you go to kill each other and at the end you're just hugging and just shaking hands.
You try to explain it to your friends who've never been before and you show them photographs and they just look at you as if you're absolutely insane. And unless
you do karate, don't you?
The classic.
I honestly cannot class you as a friend unless you punched me in the face or tried to choke me. If we've not done that, then guess what? We're not that tight.
It's funny actually. You mentioned the surfers being a close link with trying to push the surfers against surge. They've been just been such a cool charity for years and years.
Yeah, they have.
And at the moment, they go into beach cleanups. They do loads of research. I think at the moment they're pushing the Inland Water Bills Act or Sewage Act, aren't they? It's a bill that you can sign basically to help your local MP. Basically, I think it was about it was nearly 3,000 beaches had raw sewage dumped into them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I think that was it last year or something? But basically, it's just to say enough's enough. I think there's a bit of danger now. We're coming out of the EU and all this is happening. I think there may be a bit of a threat to our bathing beaches with
the UK needs to book its ideas when it comes to that. My hometown, it's crazy when you go along the North Wales coast. You've got nice tranquil turquoise waters. In fact, I did know up in. And the further you head over to Colvin Bay and places like that, it looks absolutely fantastic. And then you get real, and for some reason the water just becomes a brown sludge. Yeah. And you just is that where the sewage comes out of, or I don't know? Then you push over to Liverpool a little bit more, and it's still getting brown. And then just that portion of the UK, for me, I've seen it firsthand, and the water's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And you think, why is that? Why is that? And then as you push further up to Anglesey way, it all gets clear again. Yeah. And that's beautiful. I've seen that for the past 30 years. It's they're pushing now to say that we need to clean the oceans up. We're not that bad with plastic in the UK, are we? It's plastic. It's all microfibers of plastic or microplastics that's going down the drains. It's going down the toilets. Plastic in its bigger entities. Not so bad off our shores, but it's still bad.
Not into the ocean.
Not into the ocean.
No, I love that. Obviously, just even helping one person recognise that, and then they go and tell someone else, and they go and tell someone else. It will spread. That's a powerful message to spread. And honestly, guys, if you're listening to this now, please go and check out Inner Chimp. Like I said, the styles that they have, the products that they have are incredible, and the meaning behind it is even more incredible. So it's brilliant, and I hope that everyone does hear this, and they do help out obviously in any way that they can, and I really respect you guys coming down here. What I'll do, guys, I'll leave the links to the social media down below, so you can go and check Inner Chimp out. And I'll also leave the website to go and view the shop. But thank you so much, guys. I really respect you guys coming down. It's really nice to see the faces behind the brand. It's brilliant. Yeah,
don't know much different.
We're not brothers.
No, but thank you so much. I really respect your time, and it's been a pleasure having you guys. Honestly,
It's been great.